over here is my weekly reflection page right at the top. And over here, there's a weekly reflection view of the fulfillment board, which is just the fulfillment tiles and nothing of the other things like the future intentions or the bucket list. We don't need to worry about that for this. What I used to do was that I had my calendar that I could pull this from, but now I log in every week in my Notion what I've done each day. Anyway, so I can see at a glance, because of my color coding with the special system, where I've spent my time and what kind of achievements I've had throughout the week and what kind of important tasks that I've done. The way that we relate this to the fulfillment board is that we want to create stacks of evidence that we are doing the things that we promised ourselves we would. And that's exactly what this reflection exercise is about. So let's go through it one by one, and we'll start from left to right on the special framework. Highlights for me were the gym. Just staying consistent is a big thing for me that I record in terms of fulfillment, but also I have over here that I started my Invisalign phase 2. So I want to record the progress of that, but also the memory in my strength fulfillment. So we'll do that right now. So we're in May. Discipline, so that's the circle. So I'm just going to highlight that, copy, enter it in. And since we're pretty much at the end of May, I'm just going to log it in as gym consistency for the whole month. Don't really need to put this in as a tile, but I just want to log Invisalign phase 2 started. When it's complete, I'll probably put it in as a tile in this section here, health. So moving on to persistence, that's the blue thing. So meal prep, mowing the lawn, open home. So I stuck with all my consistency of doing these things. But also, I remember from the week, I didn't actually log it here. I had new macros that I've recently got. So in terms of persistence, I'm just proud of the consistency that I've developed within that. So I'm just gonna log that there. Consistency was great. All right, moving on. Experience. So that actually wasn't much to do with experience because I'm pretty busy at the moment and I haven't been making time for myself. And that's actually something I need to reflect on as well, because what this does, especially with the color coding, is it shows you what areas you have strengthened and what areas you're lacking in potentially. And there's going to be seasons in life. So there's going to be some seasons of life where you really focus on a certain aspect of special, let's say either intelligence or creativity or even experience. And as a result, something's going to fall off eventually. And just having this as a frame of reference to look back on is such a good thing, because I notice it has affected me. And that's why I really look forward to having the reflection time with Derek, my friend. And that's the only experience phase I have. I did actually watch a few things, so that's under my experience as well. But in terms of actual social connection, that's something that I want to implement more for next month. So I'm just going to type in here, reflection with Derek. Cool. Creativity is a big one for me, and doing a lot of work on this video this week was the big achievement for this week. And if we look at the marking grade, progress is done like that. So here, boom, progress, 75% done. So contribution for me is to find and create meaning within my contributions. And this week at work, I really challenged myself to increase my efficiency. And I got a lot done that I usually would have taken a lot more time to do. I've already done this quite a bit, but then I pushed myself just that bit harder. And there's also another interesting thing is that at my job, I mix sauces with this big blender thing, and it kind of works as like an ab workout. So I've actually been really like trying to focus on my ab contractions while I do that. So that's something I actually enjoyed, incorporating a bit of a workout because it's really difficult. So I just wrote in there, enjoyed the ab workout I got from work. And also at my job, I'm able to listen to podcasts pretty much all day. So that's actually something I want to show gratitude for. All right, so intelligence actually ties in with what I was mentioning about the podcast. Well, this is an audiobook. I finished the audiobook Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins because I had the time to listen to it while I was working. So that's actually an opportunity for me to put in a tile, so I'll show you how I get that done. As you can see here in my alignment, I will learn and create new ideas relevant to my current projects by reading. And that includes audiobooks. So anyways, let's create a new one right here. So what you need to do when you create these tiles to make sure it shows up in your fulfillment board here, if you have a look, I'll just show you. It won't actually show up right away here. So it should be right here, but it hasn't showed up. And the reason is because it needs to be put under the special, main special over here. So you need to fill that in for it to show up. So I'll put that in and I'll show you that it appears linked over here. There you go. So it's right there. Cool. So I'm just going to update that. So I always put in the month that it happened. So it's May. Date, if you want to be really specific about the date, then you can do that if you want. Special crossovers is if anything kind of crosses over with each other. That would be in this experience tab, where I wanted to put in the memory of starting the Habit Tracking Kings, and that kind of correlates with my creativity. Cool, so back to that tile, and now I'm just going to enter it in the log as well. All I have to do is mention the page, so I press Shift at, so to mention, and give it an orange background. And if I want it to have an icon like these ones, I just have to adjust that in the tile here. So again, really easy. I press the edit, and then I click on this to the icon, and then it's a circle, because I know from the reference over here. Moving on. So in achievements, my main intention is to earn the items I want and to mark my key accomplishments. But also, for the purpose of the weekly reflection, it's about capturing the small key wins from my weeks. So I think about, what is the small key win from this week that I have? And it's nothing that I actually logged in here, but actually I've improved my sleep quite a bit. I found out that I'm extremely intolerant to caffeine, and that when I have green tea in the morning, first thing in the morning, it will affect my sleep that night. And I cut that out this week, and my sleep improved by a whole hour, and that has made a massive difference in my energy and my mood and everything like that. So that's a small, pretty massive win for me. So I'm just gonna log that down. So I can see small key wins is the yellow heart. So I'm gonna copy that, paste hours from 6. It does make me quite sad because I really like to have a hot drink in the morning, and I love green tea, plus the antioxidant benefits. So if you know something, an alternative, I would love to hear it, that doesn't have any caffeine at all. Not even a shred, not even a drop. So on to the lifetime part, and this is about reflecting on a perspective, introspection, or adversity from the week. And for me, the first thing that comes to mind is a quote that I heard, and I can't completely remember it, and that's why I keep it in what I call my brain dump. So I'm just going to search that, LGD brain dump. But I remember something about horizons, so I'm just going to search that. Horizon. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. I think I heard that quote in a reel or something, I can't remember, but it really hit hard because there was a lot of things I had to leave behind to start this channel. So I just want to log that for the memory. Put that as a heart, which is quotes, and maybe just a little footnote about it. Reminds me of the thing journey. So that's it for the fulfillment board section of my weekly reflection. And I actually have a full weekly reflection where it's more like I go through some reflection questions about the week. And then I also have a realignment question, which is about what am I gearing towards for next week? What do I want to accomplish next week and stuff like that? But that will be for a future video. So yeah, this is what it looks like to use the fulfillment board system to make sure that you're aligned with your goals and you're actually stacking evidence to prove that you are the person that you want to become. In the link in the description, you'll find a template that you can use to create your own fulfillment board using the AIM method I explained. Because this is a new concept and it may be hard to figure out the nuances within it, I'd love to be there with you to build it. Underneath is also a link to my calendar where you can book in a session with me completely for free, and I'll guide you through creating your fulfillment board. We all have so many big dreams within all the areas of life. The next exercise in this series is taking the special system and the fulfillment board that we just created and figuring out the 2 key areas that will give us the biggest return on investment, and figuring out what we want to do for the next 5 to 10 years within those 2 key focus areas.